Blackburn Rovers return to the EFL Cup action this midweek, taking on Chelsea, of course, who are hitting a bit of a rough patch over in the league. Are we going to be playing them at the right time? We're going to take a little look next. Folks, back to another match preview. Looking forward to Blackburn Rovers' trip to London. That's right, taking on Chelsea, Premier League Chelsea, for a spot in the quarter-finals. Can Rovers do the unthinkable and get to the final eight? We'll take a look at it, all of it in a second. Of course, if you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe button back. All things Rovers related, EFL Cup related, world football related. We're going to all hear boys in a bloody hotel. That's right, I'm on the road here, looking forward to this game, of course, which is not on TV, but we're going to try and keep up to date with the game as and when we can, of course. But can Rovers do the unthinkable and squeak past a Chelsea who are currently a bit of out of form? Of course, they look like they were on a good bit of transitional period where they were hitting a good bit of form with that draw against Arsenal. But of course, more regular events were assumed this past weekend. We'll get into that, all of that in a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons, of course, and a whopping, a big reminder, a whopping 78% of you are not subscribed, guys. Get those numbers up, and of course, let's help the channel out. So here we go then, jump at the deep end. Of course, have a look at the game itself. Now, this, of course, is my preview. Chelsea versus Rovers, our first real deep dive into Chelsea, which is strange. It's strange, of course, from a non-Premier League regular like myself, who, you know, I do try, I keep up to date with the Premier League, but Chelsea is a weird old beast because there's a lot of transfer activity, a lot of new faces, and it has been made very difficult for me to predict my 11. We'll get into all that, so let's get into it then, of course, to take a look at the current situation of Chelsea. Currently managed by Mauricio Pochettino. How long will he last with this current bit of form? That is the question. Most valuable player according to Transfermarkt is Moses Caicedo, ranked around about 19 million euros. They've got 31 players on the books right now. 23 is their average age, 14 are national players, 21 foreigners at the moment. Let's take a look at some of those players. And again, this is a new to me, but they have a good depth in goalkeeper department with Sanchez currently number one. You've got Marcus Bentinelli, their former of Fulham. You've got Dordan Petrovic as well. And then into the defensive ranks, you've got the veteran, of course, Thiago Silva, Cucurella, Fofana, Chabla as well. They've got a lot of names, but really there's not many superstar standouts. Of course, there's a lot of money been invested in the youth. You know, your Ben Shadé there, of course, and your Levi Colville coming through the academy there. Axel Desai, they're just young guys coming through, but they're not elite defenders, which I think is the main problem for Chelsea. They have invested for a team that's going to be amazing in about 10 years' time, but right now they're expecting success with youngsters, which I don't think is going to work out for them in the long term. And doesn't really change when you look into midfield. Of course, Enzo Fernandez, World Cup winner, we've got to give him the credit where credit's due there. Reece James, of course, formidable. But again, Cole Palmer invested for the youth. Conor Gallagher, still a young guy. Romelu Lavia as well, and Kani Chukwuemeka. All those folks still very young and still trying to mature into the players that they want to be. But that's a key nugget of the current situation with Chelsea is they've invested heavily, which you would expect to translate into success on the pitch. But right now it's not. Of course, you got to look at these ages. They, you know, don't get me wrong. I think Chelsea in about 5-10 years time with this team, as long as they're coached right, trained right, and of course on the right track, they should be a dominating force. But right now they are not. They're still finding their feet. They do have a few leaders in there. Got Raheem Sterling leading the charge up there. Of course, Nicholas Jackson's trying to score some goals as well, but no real out and out recognised guaranteed striker. The Drogba days are over. The Shevchenko days are long gone, of course, even though he wasn't that prolific anyway. But anyways, kick it on forward then, of course, take a look at the goals, where they come from in the Cup. Manduki, Jackson and Fernandez, the only goal scorers, and when we see Rovers on the flip side, we have, of course, many goal scorers in the Cup, but we have played more games and inferior opposition, we would imagine, on that one. Of course, the standout player has been McDaly, with, of course, 8.5 on average. I think they just played the twice in the Cup. Cole Palmer as well. Don't get me wrong, of course, we'd love to, we would chop our right bollock off for one of these players in our team right now, but Can they gel on a Wednesday night? We'll see very, very soon. Okay, look at the stats then. 7.08 on average for your Chelsea man. Just the 2 games, 3 goals scored, and of course averaging 1.50 goals a game. Meanwhile, ball possession rate is 61.5% possession for Chelsea at the moment. Just the 1 clean sheet as well. No red cards in their travel or on their cup exploits. This is the resume right here, right now. And as you can see, on a recent uptick of form, of course. Unbeaten in the last 4 games, picking up wins against Brighton, Fulham, Chelsea, and then the draw against Arsenal. Then, of course, coming crashing back down to earth with a loss to Brentford at Stamford Bridge, which has given me a bit of fuel for my fire, or belief in the system that maybe we can squeak something out of this. And I'm not expecting Rovers to come here and win this game, but if we can hold on tight and make it a difficult game, you never know. You just don't know. Of course, Chelsea will take on Spurs after this game. It'll be on Monday the 6th of November. Then, of course, a difficult match against Chelsea, Newcastle United, Brighton, and Manchester. Very difficult November to December for Chelsea to navigate. And, of course, the current situation at the table will not look favourable on that one. Take a look then. Of course, my expected starting lineup. It's a strong lineup, but I'm not too sure really. There's so many new faces, and I'm not sure who's first team, who's second team. Because they're all quite a young-looking squad. And again, I don't know the current state of injuries, but I'm going to go with Sanchez between the sticks. We've got Chilwell, we've got Desai, we've got Colwell and Cucurella. Then we have Sterling on the left, we have Kopam on the right, we have Maatsen down the middle, Ukuchoku in the middle, Conor Gallagher, and then Broja up top. Now that's my team. Again, if you are a Chelsea fan, let me know if I'm going to be far from it, if anyone's injured. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. But of course, now we're going to switch to what I think will be Blackburn Rovers. Of course, wearing my yellow shirt because I do anticipate Rovers to be in the yellows for this midweek clash. JDT is our manager, 1.65 points per match. Of course, he's never managed against Chelsea, so this will be a first for him. Tyrese Dolan, the most valuable player, according to Transfermarkt, 8 million euros there, 27 players on the books, 23.3 is our average. And now we have always been applauded for the youth of the squad, the young players, but our average age is older than that of Chelsea. So Chelsea have an even younger squad than we do at the moment. 9 foreigners, 3 national team players for Rovers at the minute. Let's take a look at the players. And again, for those Chelsea fans out there, this is mainly aimed at you. While stuck between sticks, we've got Pears out injured. Joe Hilton has been deputised as number 2. And then, of course, into the defensive ranks, of course, James Hill will be eligible to play. He did play in the last round. Then we've got Scotty Wharton, of course, who I didn't think looked great in the last one. Dom Hyam, our main store at the back there, out injured for at least the rest of this month and deep into November, we imagine. Let's take a look at the midfield options then. Ryan Hedges out. Travers probably not going to make it. We might see the return of Jake Garrett, who's been scoring in every round so far in this cup, so let's hope he can continue as well. Tronstad's been solid in recent times in the league, and then Sigurdsson and Tyrese. And then, of course, moving forward, we have our attacking ranks, which have been a little bit toothless, to be honest with you. So, but hey, the cup we've been great, but realistically, we haven't had that much stern opposition to get us worried. Let's take a look at the cup exports then. John Buckley is our top goal scorer alongside Jake Garrett with 3 goals in 3 matches. John Buckley currently out on loan for Sheffield Wednesday. Jake Garrett, of course, leading the charge there. Moran, Gilson, Makinde, Gallagher, Bloxham. It's a very young squad there, or young scorers in amongst them there. But to be honest with you, this is a cherry on top for Rovers' season, a game to go against Chelsea. We've been looking to get one of these matches in the Cups over the past couple of years. It's sort of a notch on your bedpost for some fans, because it's been a long time since we played at Stamford Bridge, and we'll see those numbers in a second. But these are the young goal scorers that will hopefully get another go. We've got the key man at the moment has been Andrew Moran with 8.90 on average for his matches. Hedges, Buckley and Gallagher, the next 3, all not probably highly unlikely to be involved. Of course, Hedges definitely out, Buckley out on loan, and Gallagher getting closer to the first team squad. And then, of course, some other familiar names. Garrett, Tommy Bloxham has been featured in a couple of games as well so far. Let's take a look at the stats then. 7.29 on average in the cup for Rovers. 3 matches, 17 goals scored, just 5 conceded, and 12 assists there, averaging around about 5.7 goals a match. Of course, take a look at the ball possession rate is, what is that, 67% for Rovers, which is the one clean sheet so far. No red cards in this competition. Our resume looks like this at the moment. Very, very hot and cold for Rovers. Again, we were on a good 3-game winning run. However, that came to a crashing halt at Ewood on the weekend against Swansea. So both Rovers and Chelsea coming into this on the back of home defeats. And Rovers try to look to the next match here to try and get back to winning ways. Will it be this one or will it be this one? Of course, Norwich City awaits us at Carrow Road. We also go for a rough patch as well. Then, of course, Preston off at Ewood before Stoke after the international break. Birmingham and Sheffield Wednesday. More winnable games, you would imagine, for Rovers, but could be a bumpy end to get to that stage. Take a look at my team. I'm expected here. We've got Walstadt, we've got Pickering, Scotty Wharton, Carter, James Hill. We've got Sigurdsson on the left, Dolan on the right, Moran, Wharton and Jake Garrett for me to start. Tronstadt may be rested, and then Smodic down the middle. Let's take a look then at the previous record between these two sides. The last time we played each other was way back in the Premier League, of course, in May 2012, and we lost 2-1, of course, at Stamford Bridge. Our record against them over home and away, as over the last 6 they've played, they've won 4 of them, we've won 1 of them, and there's been 1 draw as well. No red cards over the last 6. Could that be a factor as well? Of course, the last 6 though at Stamford Bridge is much worse for us. We've not won in the last 6, and Chelsea have actually won 4 on the bounce and conceded just 1 goal in the last 4 games. Rovers have only scored 1 in 6 at Stamford Bridge. That was the last time when Yakubu got on the end of that one, 60th minute there, but really not good place for Rovers to play their football. Let's take a look then at their home form versus our away form heading into this now. We can add on to this graphic here, the Brentford loss. So just 1 win in 5 over at Stamford Bridge for Chelsea at the moment. Meanwhile, Rovers back-to-back away wins. So maybe we can take a bit of away form with us to Chelsea and maybe nick something out of this. But I'm not coming into this with with a bit of hope, potentially maybe playing him at the right time, but we could be on the end of a Tonkin if Chelsea get their act together. Let's take a look at the grand scheme of things then. They've played each other 37 times over the last, I don't know, since 19, whatever that is. 11 wins for Rovers, 18 wins for Chelsea, and 8 draws. Biggest win for Chelsea was a 5-0 win. The biggest win for Rovers, 3-0 win. They actually scored 63 goals compared to our 44 over the course of those 37 matches. 1.70 goals a game for Chelsea, 1.19 for Rovers. We're on 50% form at the moment, won 3 and lost 3. They're on 58% form for them. Back-to-back games now without a win. The bookies go with Chelsea 4-1 on red hot favourites. 9-2 is the draw. 11-1 is your Rovers here. So again, probably not expecting too much. Of course, the rest of the cup looks like this. We will see at least a League 1 or a League 2 club in the last 8 as Mansfield take on Port Vale, Exeter take on Middlesbrough, West Ham take on Arsenal, an old London affair there, Bournemouth taking on Liverpool, down Bournemouth, Everton take on Burnley, of course Ipswich take on Fulham, and of course Man United take on Newcastle as well. Chelsea against Blackburn Rovers is the game of the day. We will not, I don't think we'll have a watch long because I don't think the game is on TV, so we will see about it. Let's take a look at the stats then of these teams. The best possession-based side in the competition was or is Southampton with 67.7% possession. Charlton also on 67.6%. As for the most aerial duels won, that's won by Colchester. The most aggressive was Exeter with 10 yellows and 1 red. Shots per game on average, Liverpool dominating that, 29 for them. Pass accuracy, Man United leads the charge on that, and the highest rating players is Blackburn, of course, 7.21 as well. Top goal scorer is Itabati from Reading, scoring 3 goals, 6 team goals involved there. Buckley, though, alongside Garrett with 3 as well. Down the bottom there, most assists, Saliba from Wolves 3, and Moran's got 3 as well for Rovers. And at the minute, no Chelsea fans in the elite. But take a look at the team of the season or the team of the cup so far. We do have 3 Rovers players with Markanday, Buckley and Moran. Buckley will not feature in this team anymore because he's on loan at Sheffield Wednesday. Of course, it all boils down to this though. Of course, my score prediction for this one. And I am going to give Rovers a bit of hope, bit of belief, bit of something. I do think, well, this is my hope really, is that the game will end all square, 1-1 after 90, which will, of course will go into penalties, and then you just don't know. A little bit of luck going our way. Of course, maybe the fans going against Chelsea a little bit, and maybe, just maybe, the moon and the stars and the waves and everything else will align perfectly for Rovers to beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in a penalty shootout to go through to the last day. That's my hope, but realistically, we are looking at probably at a heavy, if not one-sided defeat to Chelsea. But anyway, we all hope, we'll pray, we all dream that we can get a result at Stamford Bridge. And right now could be the best time, if in a long time, to play Chelsea. So let's see if we can get things together and play, all chip in for the same sort of goal and get a result against the former Premier League winners as well. Anyway, that's it, guys. Make sure you smash your like, smash your subscribe, smash your little bell, boys. Of course, we've got non-stop shop right here throughout the week. It's going to be a bit tricky. I am on the road, so I'm going to try and get my videos out there one way or another. They might be a little bit later than usual, but we'll see. And of course, I'm expecting a vlog from Denver on this one. He's heading down to the trip to Stamford Bridge to check it all out. But we may have a live gameplay video if we can figure it all out. But that's, of course, for another day. But until then, guys, subscribe, thumbs up, hit the little bell. Of course, I'll see you soon for when I connect once again. But until then, I'm out.